Hey, good morning. Friday, last day of the week, last day of the month. If you've enjoyed some of my trade ideas, the gold one worked, well, the silver one worked really well during the week, shorting at 23.80, 23.90, and then the long gold trade yesterday at around 18.79, maybe 18.74 worked really well. Low for the day at 18.72, and it bounced back to 1900, which is basically my first target. We're even higher today. We've been to 19.15. We'll have a look at gold in a minute, actually. I've got another trade idea for you there. So make sure you watch to the end. In the meantime, stock markets are doing some interesting things. We've had a bit of a bounce back in what I believe is probably a developing bear trend. So looking at the Nasdaq, 500-day moving averages resistance around the first Fibonacci level, the first 23.6% Fibonacci level on the daily chart at least, which is at around 13,350, 13,400. So that for me is the first resistance level. Now, yesterday we did overrun it, and I was suggesting stops above 13,500 and 13,500. And of course, we went a little bit higher than that. So it's clear that if we can get above sort of 13,500, 13,600, 13,550, 13,600, that would be quite bullish in the short term, at least for the afternoon session in the Nasdaq. Then we're looking at sort of 13,750, 13,800. I think, just let me check my notes. 13,750, 13,800 would be the next target. And that for me is a very strong resistance level. I'm not going to go into the details of why, but make a note of it. It's worth just looking at the weekly chart, actually. I do use much shorter term charts for my analysis. I just don't have time to show you everything here. Although I am planning on doing some webinars, free webinars in the future. So please do keep an eye. If you can like, share, and definitely subscribe, ring the bell on my YouTube channel, then you'll get notifications. And then when I do offer free webinars, stuff like that, you'll be able to join in. Just jumping up to the weekly chart, the 100-week moving average is at 13,500. So that, I guess you could say, is probably the strongest resistance level. So anywhere really between 13,350 and 13,500 is a strong resistance level for the Nasdaq June future today. And in what I do believe is a developing bear trend. I think sooner rather than later we break below 12,800, but we'll see if I'm right. I could even argue that we have some sort of head and shoulders pattern here. You know, there's the neckline around 13,000. We spiked below it this week. You know, I could argue that that's a small left shoulder, I admit. Big head, right shoulder. You know, it's all down to interpretation really, but I could certainly argue that. We'll see if it breaks below 13,000, whether the market really plummets. Sticking with the weekly chart for the Dow Jones, we are bouncing to a good resistance level around the 34,000 area. I've got 33,900, 34,000 for the June Dow Jones US 30 contract. That really is longer term Fibonacci resistance. Swing lows from previous weeks. No moving averages or trend lines, particularly on the weekly chart. But if we go and have a look at the daily chart, we can see there is a shorter term trend line, which certainly is worth paying attention to, around 34,000 here on the chart. 50-day moving average as well. So it just, you know, there is a little bit of weight around that 34,000 area. Certainly yesterday we got to 33,968. So my resistance level at 33,950, 34,000 was bang on, and we had a high for the day yesterday. So, you know, as I said, some swing lows here at the beginning of April, the first 2 weeks, which add, you know, the price action here indicating that that is going to be a resistance level. A couple of days ago, we plunged from just above 34,000. It all just looks a bit heavy around that area. Okay, I'm going to finish off with a look at gold. As I say, nice trade yesterday. If you watched yesterday's video, bounced off that 1879, 1874 support level. The low was 1872. Couldn't really have been much more accurate. Just easy, bounced off the trend line, bounced off the fib level, bounced off the 100-day moving average. Those three factors made me feel like it was worth a punt. A decent bullish candle, long lower wick, showing the buyers coming in quite aggressively. Blue body has led to further gains today, so that's not really a surprise. 1920, 1925 is my target for this little bounce. Worth a short position, I think, there. Stop above 1930. If we close the week above 1930 in gold, I'd be quite bullish for next week. But I don't think we're going to do it. I think we're going to hold 1920, 1925 as a resistance area, and then turn around, go back to 1900, and eventually maybe next week retest the support down here. We'll talk about that support as and when we get there next week. We'll do another video for you. Not really anything in silver today. Leave it alone. I don't see strong enough signals for that. But there you go. There's a couple of 2 or 3 trade ideas for you in the stock markets and in gold. Good luck with those if you're having a gamble today, if you're having a punt, if you're trading. and have a great weekend. Please join me again on Monday. Do me a favor, please like, share, subscribe on the YouTube channel. It does help me build up my numbers.